Looking back at the birth of a champion here in the vault, it's the first year for Mark Messier and Adam Graves. Not everything was smooth for you in the contract department, so you're starting to learn about the business of hockey at this particular point, right?
Yeah, and what's interesting looking back is, Neil Smith is no dummy. He's looking to try to get Mark Messier. He's coming up, and the whole league's looking at this. And so I'm going through my own little contract thing. My contract, as we said, expired during training camp that year. I'd come from the World Cup, the Canada Cup in '91, and so I was feeling great. I had played a lot of hockey, and that night, the night before the opening game in Boston, my contract, I did not have a contract going into the year. And I think in retrospect, they're trying to nail down Mark Messier, and that was a big deal. So I'm kind of lower in the pecking order, obviously, and so my contract didn't come in. Roger Nielsen said, you're starting tomorrow night, opening game in Boston, but understand you got to do what you have to do. If your contract's not valid, not signed, if you don't have an agreement, you're not even allowed to travel with the team. I'm not allowed to be on the bench for legal reasons. So I was, what? So I practiced with the team. We were all playing. We went through training camp. And that night, when I didn't have a contract, then Johnny was starting and went on to play a couple good games. Mark signs in Montreal. Everything seemed to change. We feel like there's this potential there with Adam coming in and this whole kind of new feel. And you have these great players coming from Edmonton. But Mark Messier, funny, you look at it now, he's 31. And everybody thinks this guy's so old. But he was still young and had a lot of great years of hockey in him. But everybody was excited to just be with him in the locker room, and that really started a whole different mentality with the organization.
To a lot of people, Montreal is the home office for hockey, and for the New York Rangers, a perfect place to announce the acquisition of their new captain.
You all know the accolades that I could throw around the room: 5 Stanley Cups, 3 Canada Cups, MVP in the National Hockey League in 1990. I don't need to repeat all those things. It's just a thrill for the New York Rangers to have Mark Messier as part of their team, part of the organization. He brings with him the character, the leadership, qualities that we've been looking for, and probably more than we've been looking for. So I welcome Mark Messier.
The welcome that the Rangers have given me has been fantastic. Again, I'm just really looking forward to the challenge of coming to New York and starting a so-called second career, and I'm every bit as confident the second career is going to be as good as the first one.
He knows how to win, and we're looking to him for that leadership, and I'm sure every player on the team is looking for. I know Adam Graves hasn't stopped grinning since it was announced, and he knows the impact that Mark will have on the team.
At this point in my career, I think that more so than the things going off the ice, I think the most important to me are the things that are going on the ice, and I think that the Rangers are certainly one of the teams that were able to had something to give the Oilers in return to acquire me, and I think that and when I looked at the situation, I really thought the Rangers have a great young team, and if I can come here and contribute in any way, I'm looking forward to doing that. The Oilers, had offered me a pretty substantial contract that I probably would have been happy with, but I just think that, being 12, I've played 12 years there, and it was going to be sooner or later, and I just thought it would be best to do it now, and I think both myself and the Oilers recognize that fact, and I think we were able to come to this terms. I was in a lot better shape 2.5 weeks ago after the Canada Cup, but I'd basically done the same workout that I've been doing for the 3 months prior to the Canada Cup, so I feel pretty confident I'll be able to get on the ice and within a week be able to be playing up to normal. But tomorrow night might be a little iffy for the first couple of shifts, but I think I can get through that.
So no training camp with the New York Rangers. 1 game into the season for Mark Messier with the New York Rangers, yet there was something about his approach that told you if it was ever not going to be that big of a deal, it was not going to be a big deal for him. What did you learn about that approach that he brought?
I think he's just such a professional. And, something's really different. I remember when Bernie Nichols came to the team, you have a legitimate goal scorer. This is a big name, and everybody was excited. But Mark Messier, you have a Hall of Famer. He's already going to the Hall of Fame. If he ended his career right there, he was already an established, one of the best ever hockey players. And now you have this guy coming into your locker room. And I mean, it was exciting. I told Neil after I signed the contract and I joined the team in Montreal, I said I would have signed for free if I knew he was going to be on the team. We had a good laugh at that, but it was that type of excitement around the organization. This is a big deal. Mark had played there his whole life, and now this tremendous player is coming to New York. And we started believing that, we have a team here with some really good components. Can we put this thing together? You have a young executive in Neil. They're getting good talent. We have some young guys coming up. And you have this guy coming in your locker room. And I can remember just guys it can be almost a disruption because guys were looking at him and not making normal passes. That, you know, every time they get a puck, they give it to Mark, and they see how he operates in practice. I don't want to make too big of a deal of this, but you have to understand, this guy was an icon in hockey already, and he's coming into our locker room. And I can just remember how excited the entire bus was, you know, going to the first game, first practice, and it really changed how we felt about ourselves as an organization.
He demanded that you do things the right way. If you didn't, you got the look, and the look was trouble. Here is Mark Messier's New York Ranger debut.
Update on Mike Richter. The word from General Manager Neil Smith is he will speak with Herb Pinder, Mike Richter's agent, via phone later tonight. He hopes to have a deal agreed to sometime tonight, maybe tomorrow. So there is optimism on that front. We're underway as Patrick Waugh leaves it for Donald Dufresne, number 34. Rangers starting with Mark Messier, centering for John O'Grodnick and Mike Gartner. David Shaw and Brian Leach on defense. DiCarbino, number 21, with Mike McPhee and Russ Courtnall. McPhee, number 35, Courtnall, number 6. Donald Dufresne, number 34, on defense, along with Desjardins. Eric Desjardins, number 28. Mark Messier sending it across. Forced back by Carbonneau. DiCarbino, who signed a new contract. After the new hockey league, the Continental League was trying to lure him.
Joe Bacchino down, former Ranger assistant general manager Joe Bacchino down in Fort Lauderdale, actually had Carbonneau down to look at the area and offered him a deal, but the Montreal club came back with a nice offer and he signed to stay.
Sylvain Turgeon back from knee injury, which cost him most of last season. Brent Gilchrist with a quick shot that's wide. Turgeon, number 20, with Gilchrist. And Dennis Savard, number 18. Carrying the puck, Adam Graves wearing number 9. With Mark Messier taking number 11. Turgeon tied up by James Patrick. Turgeon gets to the puck. It's deflected up the boards to Peter Svoboda. Svoboda centering. Van Beesbroek got a stick on it. Savard cut to the net. Van Beesbroek able to knock it away. Alain Cote, his shot blocked. And Mark Hardy is hurt as he blocked that shot and he limps to the Rangers bench.
He can hardly put weight down on the foot where he blocked that shot.
Normand Rochefort has come on. Todd Ewan pressing him around the boards. It bounces out of the zone. Rangers have Doug Wade on with Tim Kerr and Tony Amonte. Amonte playing the left side. Patrick plays it off the boards. Strudlin couldn't keep it in. Ryan Strudlin on with Todd Ewan and Kirk Muller. Muller wearing number 11. Puck deflects out of the zone. Picked up by J.J. Daigneault, number 48. Randy Moeller. Icing is called on the Canadiens, who was sent in from the Montreal side of the red line. 12 seconds to go in the period. Put out in front. Save Van Beesbroek as Muller got to the puck and got a shot off. He takes another one that goes wide. Kept in by Desjardins. The shot goes wide. And that's it. Dangerous moments for the Rangers as they were unable to clear the puck. Canadiens pressing. Van Beesbroek coming up with a couple of excellent saves. And the play of Mark Messier, at times he's looked good. You're certainly impressed by his presence on the ice, but he too not 100% sharp. He's joining us right now in the studio. And Mark, would you agree that you're really not sharp out there?
No question about it. It's been 3 weeks since I skated, really, and you know, it's been a long layoff and traveled around the last couple of days, so to say the least, a little sluggish out there.
Mark, what do you think it is more than anything else? Is it the timing? I see on draws, the timing not quite ready. And at one time, I mentioned on the air late in the period, you appeared to be a little bit frustrated knowing how well you can play, but the timing just simply isn't there.
Well, you know, being off the ice 3 weeks, certainly the timing, but more so than that, just stamina. You know, I find myself being a shorter breath, and when you're shorter breath on the ice, you know, it's hard to really accomplish anything. So, you know, I knew coming in it wasn't going to be easy tonight, and it's going to at least take a week or so to get into top shape.
Mark, you know what people are saying and what people are expecting of you. Is it fair for people to expect what you bring to the New York Rangers, what they hope will be the leadership to the Stanley Cup?
Well, I certainly hope so. I'm certainly willing to accept that role in that of that capacity for the Rangers. You know, we've had a lot of pressure on us our whole careers in Edmonton, and I'm certainly used to that kind of pressure from the fans and the media and whatnot. And you know, we had a lot of great players in Edmonton, but I see a lot of great players here, and
It's a lot of new players on the team this year, and I think it's going to take a little while for everybody to gel, but things look good.
And we'll have more of Mark Messier's debut, and no surprise to hear him embrace the challenge right away.
That's what Mark is up and down. I mean, he loves that. He's a huge personality. New York fit him perfectly.
And often the great players do things that are dramatic, as would the Rangers Canadiens, and Mark Messier do in his National Hockey League debut with his new New York Rangers team.